Have you ever felt lost in the rhythm of a big city? The noise, the lights, and the unique language of the streets? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Extra English TV, XET. My name is Shayoo, and I'm your instructor, your coach, and your guide to mastering real American English. Today, we are exploring city life and urban English. Cities have a pulse. And to understand them, you need the right words. First, look at these. These are skyscrapers. They are extremely tall buildings that seem to scrape the sky. In cities like New York or Chicago, they define the skyline. The heart of the city is called downtown. This is where the tall buildings are and where most of the business happens. For example, I work downtown, so I take the train every morning. In American cities, we measure distance by blocks. A block is the area between 4 streets. You might say the coffee shop is just 2 blocks away. Now, let's talk about travel. Your commute is the journey you make every day between your home and your work. Example, my commute takes 45 minutes by bus. Most city dwellers use public transit. This includes buses, subways, and light rails. It's a great way to avoid the stress of driving in the city. But be careful of rush hour. This is the time of day when traffic is heaviest because everyone is going to or coming from work. Avoid the highway at 5 p.m. When traffic is so bad that no one can move, we call it gridlock. It's like the city is locked in a grid of cars. Example, the accident caused total gridlock in the city center. In the city, you don't walk on the road, you walk on the sidewalk. In British English, they say pavement, but in the US, it's always the sidewalk. To cross the street safely, use the crosswalk. This is the marked part of the road where pedestrians have the right of way. Remember to wait for the walk signal. If you cross the street where there is no crosswalk, it's called jaywalking. In many American cities, you can actually get a ticket for jaywalking. One of the best parts of city life is street food. From hot dog stands to taco trucks, street food is quick, delicious, and very urban. In cities like New York, we have bodegas. A bodega is a small corner grocery store where you can find everything from snacks to sandwiches, open late at night. Let's learn an idiom. Concrete jungle. This describes a city with many buildings and very little nature. It's a jungle, but made of concrete. We also talk about the hustle and bustle. This refers to the busy, noisy, and energetic activity of city life. Some people love the hustle and bustle, while others find it tiring. New York is famously called the city that never sleeps. This means there is activity, entertainment, and work happening 24 hours a day. Another common idiom is in a New York minute. This means something happens very quickly. Example, if I had the chance to live in the city, I'd move there in a New York minute. If you don't live in the city center, you might live in the suburbs. These are residential areas on the outskirts of a city, usually quieter with more green space. A very large and important city is often called a metropolis. It's the center of culture and economy for an entire region. Tokyo, London, and New York are all metropolises. Cities are often cosmopolitan. This means they have people from many different countries and cultures. It's a melting pot of ideas and traditions. A complex city topic is gentrification. This is when a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, but often driving out original residents. In the city, many people live in a loft. This is a large open space apartment, often converted from an old warehouse or factory. They are very popular and stylish. Let's pause and review. We've learned skyscraper, downtown, block, commute, public transit, rush hour, gridlock, sidewalk, crosswalk, and jaywalking. Are you following? Earlier, I mentioned pavement. While it can mean sidewalk in the UK, in the US, pavement usually refers to the hard surface of the road itself. The pavement is hot in the summer. A narrow passage between or behind buildings is an alley. In many cities, alleys are used for garbage collection or as shortcuts for pedestrians. A square is an open public space in a city, often at the intersection of several streets. Times Square is the most famous example in the world. Urban slang, vibe. This describes the atmosphere or feeling of a place. This neighborhood has a really cool artistic vibe. Do you feel the vibe? Cities are full of street art. These are paintings or murals done in public spaces. When it's unauthorized, it's often called graffiti, but many cities celebrate professional street art. The skyline is the outline of a city's buildings against the sky. Every city has a unique skyline that makes it recognizable from a distance. A landmark is a famous building or object that is easy to recognize and helps you know where you are. The Empire State Building is a famous New York landmark. Some people call the city a concrete forest. It's similar to concrete jungle, emphasizing how the buildings stand like trees, blocking out the sun. When a city spreads out in an uncontrolled way over a large area, it's called urban sprawl. This often leads to longer commutes and more traffic. Cities are famous for their nightlife. This includes bars, clubs, theaters, and restaurants that stay open late. If you like to go out at night, you love nightlife. In the city, there are endless opportunities to socialize. This means to spend time with other people for pleasure. I love to socialize at the local coffee shop. A city is made of many neighborhoods. A neighborhood is a specific area where people live and often has its own unique character and local shops. A district is an area of a city that has a specific purpose. You might visit the fashion district, the financial district, or the theater district. If an area is expensive and fancy, we call it upscale. An upscale neighborhood has high-end shops and luxury apartments. Example, they live in an upscale part of town. The opposite is rundown. This describes a building or area that is in bad condition because it hasn't been cared for. That old factory has become quite run down. Even in the city, people need green space. These are parks or gardens where you can see trees and grass. Central Park is a massive green space in the middle of Manhattan. Let's practice a sentence. I live in an upscale neighborhood downtown, so my commute to the skyscrapers is very short. Can you say that? Here's another. During rush hour, the gridlock on the highway is terrible, so I prefer to take public transit. Try repeating that. To get around quickly, you can hail a taxi or call a rideshare like Uber or Lyft. Just remember, in the city, these can get stuck in traffic too. The money you pay for a journey on public transit is called the fare. You might need to buy a transit card to pay your fare automatically. A pedestrian is simply a person walking in the city. City planners often try to make areas more pedestrian-friendly by adding wider sidewalks and more trees. In a city that never sleeps, many things are open 24/7. This means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get a pizza at 3 a.m. City life is all about convenience. Everything you need, food, doctors, shops, is close by. That's why many people choose the busy city life. However, there are downsides, like pollution. Smog is a type of air pollution that looks like a smoky fog over the city, often caused by cars and factories. Then there's noise pollution. This is the constant sound of sirens, horns, and construction that is always present in a busy metropolis. It can be hard to find silence. One last idiom, the rat race. This describes the competitive, fast-paced way of life in a city where everyone is working hard to get ahead. Are you part of the rat race? Remember, every city is a melting pot. It's a place where different people, styles, and ideas all mix together to create something new and exciting. We've covered so much: alley, square, vibe, street art, skyline, landmark, urban sprawl, nightlife, neighborhood, and upscale. These are your tools for the city. My tip for you: next time you watch a movie set in a city, listen for these words. Try to identify the landmarks and the vibe of the setting. And write down 3 of these words today. Use them in a sentence about where you live or where you want to visit. Practice makes perfect. I hope this lesson helps you feel more confident when you walk the streets of a major American city. English is your key to the world. If you enjoyed this lesson on city life, please give it a like and share it with your friends who are learning English. It really helps the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Xtra English TV and hit the bell icon so you never miss a lesson with me, Shayoo. I'll see you in the next video. Mastering English is a journey. Let's walk it together. See you soon.